Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of GWA Supercharged. This is the final event before High Tides this Sunday. I am Joe Davis. We're coming to you live from Seattle. Thank you for joining us. It appears we're going to be starting the evening with the GWA General Manager, Gene Wells.
Making her way to the ring from Aberdeen, Washington, Gene Wells.
We have a huge show planned for you here tonight. Again, we're only a couple of days away from High Tides, where Arthur Caldwell will be defending the heavyweight championship of the world against Ray Snyder. 2 out of 3 falls. That'll be the main event. Let's listen in to Gene Wells and let's see what she's got to say. So a couple of more matches for tonight announced. We'll see Sergio Dondelinger go up against Ray Snyder. And the world's heavyweight champion, Arthur Caldwell, will take on the Russian gladiator, Aleksander Sokolov. But that's not all. We also have non-title competition. A tag team match, the number 1 contenders, the Viking Raiders, to take on the World Tag Team Champions, High Energy. We'll also have Gavin Briggs stepping into the ring with the United States Heavyweight Champion, Charles Thompson. And an update for High Tides taking place this Sunday. The GWA Women's World Championship will be on the line as the number 1 contender, the superstar Halie Nolan, takes on the champion Wild Thing, Tammy Mullins. But coming up next, those two will face off in this very ring here tonight. And the title is not on the line, so non-title match, but they're going to be looking to take momentum into that championship match this Sunday. Halie Nolan, the superstar, looking for her first reign as GWA Women's World Champion. She had a victory over Shelly Bennett just last week. And Tammy Mullins had a victory over Bennett 2 weeks ago. These two have been staring each other down after the matches. They know that they'll have to take each other on very soon.
And from Toluca Lake, California, the Global Wrestling Alliance Women's World Champion, Wild Thing, Tammy Mullins.
And And the champion, Tammy Mullins, making her way into the ring now. And as I was saying, both these ladies have a lot of momentum coming into this matchup right here tonight. And whomever wins this match will definitely have the momentum and the mental advantage heading into the championship match this Sunday at High Tides. So here we go. Halie Nolan, Tammy Mullins, and the bell sounds, and Nolan heads for the outside. The official restraining Tammy Mullins from going after her. The official is going to just begin his count. Nolan is trying to get under the skin or get in the head of Tammy Mullins. Now she runs back into the ring, leaving Mullins on the outside. The official now counting down Tammy Mullins at 2 and make that 3. Mullins circling the ring, maybe making Nolan think about what she's got to do here. Now Mullins in, and Nolan with a clothesline taking advantage. Regardless on how Mullins tried to play that, Halie Nolan was going to have the higher ground. 1, only a 1 on that cover. So Halie Nolan was going to have the advantage there one way or another. But Mullins turning it around with a dragon screw. Mullins now with a knee and the axe kick right to the back of the neck. Mullins now with another knee strike and another axe kick to the back of the head. Wild Thing Tammy Mullins heading into her very first championship title defense this Sunday against Halie Nolan. Northern Light suplex, perfectly done. Cover. 1, 2, and no, I think barely a 1 count, not quite a 2. Halie Nolan barely misses the, Mullins barely misses the elbow drop. Nolan barely getting out of the way. Snapmare, and the low drop kick right to the face. Halie Nolan has been on point, more so than she's been the entire time she's been in Global Wrestling Alliance. She wants that championship. 1, only 1 this time on the champion. She knows that her opportunity, her chance to become champion is this Sunday and is looking to take full advantage of it. Nolan now in control, and look at this! Up the ropes and into the head scissors Hurricanrana takedown. Nolan now with a couple of light stomps right to the face now. A lock up, and neither lady able to gain an advantage there. And now Mullins with Nolan by the back of the head, sends her into the corner. And look at this maneuver right here. Submission in the ropes, so not a legal submission hold, but it will do damage nonetheless. Slams the back of her head into the mat. Cover here. 1, 2, and 3. No. Tammy Mullins less than a half a second away from gaining victory here. And Mullins gets caught in the corner by Halie Nolan with a double knee strike and a high kick. Now Nolan taking back over. Down, and a chop block by Tammy Mullins. Mullins went for the kick, blocked by Nolan. Nolan now sending Mullins to the corner. There's a shot right on the jaw, snapmare, center of the ring, handspring splash, cover, 1, 2, she's, no. I thought she had her right there, but not quite. Nolan gets caught, dragon screw by Tammy Mullins. Wild Thing, turning things around here. Goes for another kick, blocked, and an insignificant by Tammy Mullins. Now look at the deadlift into the gut wrench suplex by Tammy Mullins. Now Mullins going upstairs. Missile drop kick, but missed. Roll up by Nolan. 1, 2, and a 2 count. And a stomp, a kick, a stomp, and lock up right back where we started. Neck breaker by Halie Nolan. Nolan now in control at the moment. Roll up. I think she's got it. No, not this time. Mullins barely gets the shoulder up. And look at Mullins go. Leg sweep. Tammy Mullins coming back once again. Grapevines the neck. Elbow to the top of the head. Going to bring her back to her feet. Kick is blocked. And another roll up. 1, 2, not a 3. Not a 3. But wait a minute. Split-legged leg drop by Halie Nolan. 1, 2, 3. Halie Nolan has done it. And she has just defeated the Women's World Champion in a non-title match. You want to talk about having some momentum with a victory over the champion. The momentum is clearly in the challenger's favor at this point.
Here is your winner, the Superstar, Halie Nolan.
A huge victory for the Superstar, Halie Nolan, heading into her championship match this Sunday at High Tide. Oh, what in the world is going on here? Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. What in the world? What is that? Well, we got our transmission back. We apologize for that. Coming up next is tag team action as the Viking Raiders are set to take on High Energy. And Ivar, the Viking Raiders, the #1 contenders for the GWA World Tag Team titles. And we are being told that this Sunday they will get their championship match against High Energy. So just like in our previous match with Halie Nolan and Tammy Mullins, the challengers to take on the champions and a non-title match right here tonight to see which team will have the momentum heading into the championship match this Sunday at High Tides. So far, the Viking Raiders have had the number of High Energy, being Derek Wright and Willie Jones, with victories in tag team matches and in singles competition. High Energy will be looking to turn that around right here, right now.
And their opponents, accompanied by Don Holmes, at a combined weight of 457 pounds, the Global Wrestling Alliance World Tag Team Champions,
Derek Wright and Willie Jones, high energy, of course, with their manager, the self-proclaimed leader of the Homestead, Don Holmes. Stepping into the ring tonight with their adversaries, the Viking Raiders, and of course, Don Holmes has something to say, so let's listen to that. Indeed, they are the tag team champions. Thank you, Don Holmes. Derek Wright going to be starting things off with Ivar. And a block there. Ivar already cutting off Derek Wright's offense. And look at Ivar go. Sending him over the top. He holds on to the top rope. And look at Eric. Grabs the ankles and he just hit his jaw on the ring apron. Derek Wright having to fight back against Eric here on the outside. And now here comes Ivar right after him. Kick right to the side of the head. Sending Derek Wright back into the ring now. And Ivar back in. Knee right to the side of the head by Derek Wright. Derek Wright and Willie Jones, high energy, desperately need this victory. As I mentioned, the Viking Raiders have several victories in a couple of different matches against the World Tag Team Champions. And so to break that momentum, high energy needs a victory here tonight, and they need it bad. So I'm sure the Viking Raiders are going to have eyes in the back of their head. Don Holmes may certainly try to get involved to gain the upper hand for his team. Look at this pop-up power slam by Ivar, covered by Eric. 1, 2, and no. Derek Wright gets the shoulder up. The official having to warn Ivar to get out of the ring. Scoop by Eric. And down with a power slam. So far, Eric and Ivar, the Viking Raiders, on a roll here tonight. Eric now going to work on Derek Wright, trying to keep him isolated from his tag team partner, Willie Jones, sent headfirst into the buckle. And Eric gets a shot right on the chin. And Derek Wright now has Eric by the back of the neck. And Eric with an elbow, couple of them, right to the breadbasket. A couple of shots. Short arm clothesline by Eric. And a dive, a tag, and in comes Willie Jones. And Eric is not where he wants to be. Short arm clothesline to Jones. Buries the right hand into the girts. And again, he's having to fight off both men here. And now finally, the numbers game going to catch up to Eric. Neckbreaker by Willie Jones, and now he's pouring it on. DDT, center of the ring. High energy, turning this thing around. Here's the cover. 1, 2, a long 2 count, but a kick out for Eric. And Willie Jones now with several strikes of his own. Now has Eric up on the shoulder. Death Valley driver. Senton to follow it up. And Willie Jones now, he misses with the spin kick. Tilt-a-whirl backbreaker. He caught him coming in. Willie Jones has certainly turned this thing around for his team. And now Eric's the one in all kinds of trouble. Willie Jones now with a tag, and back comes Derek Wright. And Wright now with a lockup with Eric. He's going to take him, and he's going to put him up against the ropes. Elbow by Eric. And there's the running knee strike. Caught him flush. And Eric now sends Derek Wright into the corner. Hits the ropes, knocking Willie Jones to the floor. And now Eric with a tag to Ivar. Double team here. Whip to the far side. Pop up. Power slam. And the cover by Ivar. And Eric cuts off Willie Jones. 1, 2, 3. And the Viking Raiders pick up yet another victory over the tag team champions. And here's how they did it. Pop up by Eric. Power slam by Ivar. And as Ivar went for the cover, Eric cuts off Willie Jones. The pin and the win.
Here are your winners, Ivar and Eric, the Viking Raiders.
The Viking Raiders looking to become two-time World Tag Team Champions. And they are well on their way. As again, ladies and gentlemen, this Sunday, as Global Wrestling Alliance presents High Tides, the Viking Raiders will challenge High Energy for the World Tag Team titles. Well, ladies and gentlemen, coming up next, the Fighting Irishman to go one-on-one with Mr. Amazing is Sergio Dondelinger against Ray Snyder.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from Bray, County Wicklow, Ireland, weighing in at 275 pounds, Sergio Dondelinger.
This matchup made earlier tonight by the general manager, Gene Wells, that both the number one contender, Ray Snyder, and the world's champion, Arthur Caldwell, will both be competing here tonight, so that neither one of them has an advantage over the other going into their World Heavyweight title match this Sunday at High Tides. Both men having to compete, and depending on who may be able to get through their opponent first and save as much energy, may be the one to have the advantage this Sunday. But both men are having to compete here tonight.
And his opponent from Northridge, California, weighing in at 332 pounds, Mr. Amazing, Ray Snyder.
Mr. Amazing, Ray Snyder, trying to pick up where his former partner, Handsome Harry Sharp, left off. Mind you, Mr. Amazing, Ray Snyder, has had some very disgusting comments about his former partner. I thought that things had turned around for the two, that they were friends. I didn't care for the fact that Harry Sharp was friends and partners with Ray Snyder, but nonetheless, as soon as he is out of the picture, Ray Snyder shows his true color and verbally stabs his former partner in the back. And now he's trying to become World Heavyweight Champion himself. But first, he's got the Fighting Irishman. The bell sounds. And now Snyder is going to go to the outside. And look, he's just egging him on here. Snyder just telling Dondelinger, yeah, just come on, bring it. Dondelinger trying to go after him, but restrained by the official. And now both men on the outside. And Ray Snyder to take advantage and sends Dondelinger right into the steps. The official has begun his count here. And Snyder sends Dondelinger into the barricade. And look at this. Down! Head first. Right on the top of that steel barricade. And Snyder now steps back through the ropes. Dondelinger trying to shake the cobwebs out. Back through the ropes and right into the arms of Ray Snyder. Fist drop. And a cover. 1, 2. And only a 2 count this time for Mr. Amazing. And later on tonight, the World's Heavyweight Champion, Pretty Boy Arthur Caldwell, will also be in action. He will be going toe-to-toe with the Russian gladiator, Aleksander Sokolov. That will be our main event for the evening. Both men back on the outside now with Snyder in control. And a couple of elbows by Dondelinger into the girts. And Snyder sent running to the corner of the barricade. And the official up to 4. And a block and a shot by Snyder. But regardless, Dondelinger able to hook him up and slams him down. Dondelinger in control until the elbow to the gut. Straight right hand by Ray Snyder. Snyder measures and drops the elbow. Ray Snyder sends Dondelinger for the ride. Another right hand right on the bridge of the nose. And a clubbing blow right to the back of the neck. He's going to go for the cover here. 1, 2, not this time. Dondelinger is the Fighting Irishman for a reason. And he will fight you till the bitter end. Dondelinger, the shot to the back, waist locks him, headbutt to the back of the neck, and look at this. Side body toss by Sergio Dondelinger. Here's the cover. 1, 2. And a long 2 count for Dondelinger. And went for the battering ram headbutt there. And reversal by Snyder. Snyder had Dondelinger scouted. Ray Snyder looks to have barely broken a sweat here. Here's the cover. 1, 2. And Dondelinger, still the Fighting Irishman, fights his way off the canvas. And Snyder now gives him a blow and another. Block by Dondelinger. Dondelinger buries the right hand. And down with the reverse atomic drop. Dondelinger drops him again. And slam by Dondelinger. Cover here, hooks the leg. 1, 2, no, that was so close. I thought that was 3. Dondelinger thought that was 3. But somehow Snyder able to kick out. Slams him face first into the canvas. Dondelinger now, down on the right arm. Battering ram headbutt, and he's poised. He's ready to hit it. Dondelinger Zinger, that's gotta be all. 1, 2, 3. No, wait a second. Somehow, some way, Ray Snyder gets the right shoulder up. I don't believe it. That's a right hand buried right into the girts. And here's a small package. 1, 2, no. I don't think that was even a 2. But somehow Ray Snyder able to kick out of the Dondelinger Zinger. A right hand by Snyder. It looks like the $1 million dream. And into the Russian leg sweep. Measures and drops the elbow right into the sternum of Dondelinger. And he's going for it. He's good. He crosses the legs. Crisscross Boston Crab. And look at Ray Snyder just rear back. Dondelinger has no choice but to tap out and give this one up to Mr. Amazing. Ray Snyder with the patented crisscross Boston Crab rears back with such torque that Sergio Dondelinger had to give it up.
Here is your winner, Mr. Amazing, Ray Snyder.
Well, the challenger for the world's title has gained a victory here tonight. Will the world's champion? We'll find out a little later, but coming up next, it's one-on-one action as Gavin Briggs will step into the ring with the United States Heavyweight Champion, Prime Time, Charles Thompson.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring from Riverside, California, weighing in at 215 pounds, Gavin Briggs.
Gavin Briggs wants you to believe in him. And he's making his way down to the ring to make believers out of each and every one of us. But he's going up against the United States Heavyweight Champion, the big, the strong, the powerful, the mean, and the nasty primetime Charles Thompson, who has had a personal problem with the #1 contender, Owen Gerald Sexton, as of late. And here comes the United States Heavyweight Champion. Oh, wait a second. Owen Gerald Sexton attacks him from behind. He's pommeling him. No doubt it's revenge for being walked out on last week in their tag team match. And now here's the security to break them up. We got to try to get this under control here. Well, I don't think that match is going to happen now, so we're gonna take a break here to let you know that, in fact, this Sunday, Owen Gerald Sexton will take on primetime Charles Thompson for the United States Heavyweight title. We got something going on backstage. Let's head back there now. Don Holmes feels awfully confident. But because of that last match between Gavin Briggs and Charles Thompson didn't take place, we've scrambled together and put a special matchup together for you. And here comes the first competitor.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making her way to the ring, accompanied by Chris Van Diver. From Huntington Beach, California, Lilith Van Diver.
Lilith Van Diver, set for one-on-one action. This match was originally not scheduled for tonight, but because we couldn't bring you the advertised Gavin Briggs and Charles Thompson matchup, this match has been put together. And Lilith Van Diver, along with her husband Chris Van Diver, out here in the ring. And Lilith's going to be taking on the former boxer and former women's world champion, Amaya Stevens.
And from Oakland, California, Amaya Stevens.
And here she comes, Amaya Stevens, with those well-educated hands. And I want to point out, too, just to make sure that I don't give Lilith her credit that she's due. She is also a former World Women's Champion. So two former Women's World Champions going at it here tonight in one-on-one action. Lilith Van Diver against Amaya Stevens. So both the combatants are here. They are in the ring. They are ready. Lilith Van Diver, Amaya Stevens. The bell sounds and we're underway. Lock up center of the ring. And grabs a handful of hair and slams Lilith into the mat. And there's the jab. Look at the quick jabs by Amaya Stevens. A couple of them found their mark. And look at Stevens go, just punishing Lilith in the early going. And Stevens now gets a knee right to the temple. Van Diver sends Stevens into the corner. Big chop. And look at Van Diver up over the ropes and hurricanrana. And now Van Diver upstairs. She's waiting for Amaya Stevens to rise. And missile drop kick finds the mark right on the jaw. And I believe that Van Diver should have went for the cover there, but instead went to the left leg. But so far, Lilith Van Diver has this match well in hand, it seems. And look at Van Diver go. Stevens was able to get a few shots in the early going, but up to this point, it's been pretty much all Lilith Van Diver. There's a jawbreaker. And a stiff kick right to the spine, and Stevens right back up to her feet. Van Diver sends her for the ride into the corner, and there's a chop that was blocked, and here comes Stevens now sending Van Diver to the corner and wraps up the arm. Delivers the right hand to the shoulder, and a second time. And look at that. My goodness, the ribs are just taking a pounding. And Stevens just raining down with the fists. And just like that, a couple well-placed punches, and Amaya Stevens had regained control, but Van Diver's fighting back again. Couple of well-placed elbows, and Lilith with the reverse atomic drop, and drops the legs, the heels right into the lower stomach area. 1, 2, no. A long 2 count for Lilith Van Diver. The kick is blocked. Dragon screw by Amaya Stevens. And Stevens now sends Van Diver for the ride against the ropes, and look at that. What a shot It's a very unorthodox maneuver there, but damage still being dealt out nonetheless. Amaya Stevens has regained control of this match, sends Vandiver back to a corner. And look at these blows right to the ribs yet again. And Stevens with a head of steam drives the knee right into the face. Gonna go for the cover right here. 1, 2, and a 2 count for Stevens. Vandiver not willing to give it up just yet. What a knee strike. And again. Make that a trifecta for Amaya Stevens. Stevens has battled back in a big way. What a shot! She may need teeth surgery. 1, 2, no! Somehow she still gets the left shoulder up, but nearly breaks the jaw, does Amaya Stevens. What a vicious knee strike that was. Chris on the outside looking on with some concern. And Stevens waiting for Vandiver, but Vandiver seems to be very much out of it. And maybe playing a little possum there. And Vandiver up and over with a reverse cutter. Here's the cover. This should do it. 1, 2, and no, a long 2 count. But I thought just like that with a reverse cutter, and that this one was over. And went for the kick, blocked by Stevens, flips her up. Oh my goodness! What a shot by Stevens. And Stevens was saying, bring it on. Vandiver grabs her by the arm and takes her down. I don't know what Stevens was waiting for, but she allowed Lilith Vandiver to take over, it seems. Well, there's an elbow right to the gut. And there is the furious flurry by Amaya Stevens, and Vandiver is on Dream Street. Amaya Stevens now gonna pick her spot, grabs a handful of hair, a knockout shot. 1, 2, 3. Amaya Stevens is your winner. And right here, this is what it takes. One well-placed, calculated knockout blow, and Amaya Stevens takes the victory.
Here is your winner, Amaya Stevens.
Huge victory for Amaya Stevens in a matchup that wasn't even scheduled to take place. Well, what is scheduled to take place, ladies and gentlemen, is High Tides this Sunday, and the main event is going to be Mr. Amazing Ray Snyder challenging Pretty Boy Arthur Caldwell for the GWA World Heavyweight title. But coming up next, the world's champion is going to step into the ring and go toe-to-toe with the Russian gladiator, Aleksander Sokolov.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring, accompanied by Amaya Sokolov from St. Petersburg, Russia, weighing in at 260 pounds, the Russian gladiator, Aleksander Sokolov.
Well, who can forget the wars between Aleksander Sokolov and Arthur Caldwell over the GWA Heavyweight Championship of the world? I gotta bet that in the mind of Aleksander Sokolov, it's not 100% finished. So I'm sure that he's very, very happy at the fact that he's going to be able to get his hands on Arthur Caldwell here in just a few moments.
And his opponent from Tacoma, Washington, weighing in at 238 pounds, the Global Wrestling Alliance World Heavyweight Champion, Pretty Boy Arthur Caldwell.
And here he comes. The man on top of the mountain here in GWA. Being escorted to the ring by Ashley Price. It's the heavyweight champion of the world 2 times over. Pretty boy Arthur Caldwell. This Sunday set to take on Mr. Amazing Ray Snyder to defend his crown yet again. But he can't look past his opponent here tonight, a man he knows very well, the Russian gladiator, Aleksander Sokolov. Well, Sokolov is ready. Caldwell is ready. It is main event time on Supercharged. The bell sounds and we're underway. Lock up center of the ring by these 2 titans. Lock up again. Neither man able to gain the advantage. And Caldwell picks the leg and goes right for the hamstrings. Again, Arthur Caldwell, a master technician, already going for his game plan to work on the legs of his opponent. Big chop by Caldwell. Sokolov evades. Short arm clothesline, and now a blatant choke right in front of the official. Double stomp by Sokolov. Double stomp, missed that time by Sokolov. And I'm not sure what Caldwell was going for there. But Sokolov went for another double stomp, still gets a clothesline over the top of the floor. That was sudden, violent. A man could have his neck tweaked by something like that, but Sokolov, like a Russian tank, already back into the ring, ready to fight some more. There's a clubbing blow by Caldwell, sending Sokolov right down to the mat and right back to the left leg. And now a little bit of tit for tat here by Caldwell with a choke in front of the referee on Sokolov. Caldwell now right back to the left leg, trying to wear it down to set up for that inverted figure 4. Trying to knot up that thigh muscle. And a cover by Caldwell. 1. Only a 1 this time for Caldwell as Sokolov able to kick out. Sokolov now with a kick to the gut and now several blows. Scoop and a slam. No, not a slam. A backbreaker by Sokolov. Mr. Amazing, Ray Snyder, the #1 contender, was already victorious in a match against Sergio Dondelinger earlier tonight. Now Arthur Caldwell needs to respond with a victory of his own. But right now, Aleksander Sokolov, well, he was in control until that high-impact chop by Caldwell and picks the leg, goes right back for the left leg of the Russian gladiator. Measures his spot with the elbow, the cover, 1. Only a 1. Sokolov kicks out yet again. When a gladiator's coming at you full force, you take his legs away from him. He ain't going to come at you very fast after that. Now here's Maria. Maria up on the apron, distracting the world's heavyweight champion, Arthur Caldwell. Waist lock, claps the ears. And Sokolov now with the atomic drop. And once again, we've seen it over and over, time and time again. Because of Maria Sokolov on the outside of the ring, Aleksander gains the upper hand, and Maria just threw a chair in the ring for some damn reason. Aleksander now with the world's champion. He's got him hooked up. Twisted Russian suplex. Here's the cover, and this will be all. 1, 2, 3. No. Somehow, some way, Arthur Caldwell will barely get the right shoulder up just in the nick of time. Jawbreaker by Caldwell. Went for the drop kick, could not connect. And Sokolov with the snapmare and the knee drop. Once again, give the assist to Maria Sokolov on the outside. Now Aleksander with some kicks right to the face. And he's choking him again, referee. And get that damn chair out of there. Aleksander with the snapmare. Elbow right to the top of the head. The kick is blocked. Dragon screw by the champ. And now Maria up on the apron yet again. The officials dealing with the chair. And then here comes Aleksander again. And Caldwell able to reverse with a couple of well-placed elbows into the girts. Turns it around into a headlock takedown. Caldwell against the ropes. Down with the high elevation on the knee drop. And now Maria is trying to... She's doing something with it. Wait a minute. Inverted figure 4. It's locked in. He's got it cinched in deep, does Caldwell. And Aleksander Sokolov has no choice but to tap out. Arthur Caldwell victorious. Maria Sokolov did everything she possibly could to give her man the advantage. But at the end, it was still Arthur Caldwell with the inverted figure 4.
Here is your winner, pretty boy, Arthur Caldwell.
Ladies and gentlemen, tune in this Sunday as we present High Tides. We will see you then.